What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Tuesday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Today we're going to be discussing some words from Alexander Isak on his move from Newcastle. We'll be telling you who the new Nottingham Forest manager is because Nuno, well, he was sacked last night. We're going to tell you why Maka isn't quite fit just yet, according to the Argentinian national team manager, but will probably still be in the starting 11. We'll give you a little look ahead to Liverpool's future business and a couple of other bits and pieces, including big claims in Spain about Ibrahim Konate's future. So that and much more to come over the next few minutes. Also, today was the day that Liverpool unveiled and unleashed the new third kit for the season. I'll give you my take on that one as well. And as always, we do want to know your thoughts, ladies and gents, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, and I will be back here tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. The podcast episode is now up on Spotify and here on YouTube, so if you haven't given it a watch yet, please do and let me know your opinion. You just look for the title. It has Isak on it saying Difference Maker. That is the podcast, and of course just search Anfield Agenda Podcast on Spotify, right? Let's get stuck into it. We're going to start off with a David Ornstein story that came about late last night and just kind of moved as the night went on. So, Ange Postecoglou is about to become, or is now confirmed, I should say, as the new Nottingham Forest head coach. Kind of like out of the frying pan and into the fire there for Forest fans, going from a defensive Nuno to, well, Ange ball. It'll be interesting to see. Certainly, he won the Europa League last year, so maybe he can repeat the same miracle with Nottingham Forest, but it's an interesting one and very harshly treated of Nuno, if I do say so myself, a manager that turned Forest around from potential relegation fodder into, well, Europa League contenders. So there you go. Thanks for your work, Nuno, but bye-bye. Right, let's move on to... Actually, let's talk about the new third kit that was released today. Have to say the kit, as we know, absolutely gorgeous. No qualms about that. Even treated myself to the black goalkeeper shirt. But the rest of the range, the training range and the Terrace Icon stuff, gotta say, kind of underwhelmed for me. If you guys have had a chance to have a look through it, do let me know your thoughts. But I was expecting a little bit more from the training range and some of the other stuff around the beautiful third kit. So just got a couple of bits and pieces myself. But do let me know in the comments if you've treated yourself to anything. Right, let's move on to Alexander Isak, who was speaking about his transfer out of Newcastle and that whole time, and this is what he had to say. It is what it is. Not everybody has the full picture. This summer has been what it has been, a transfer window. I got what I wanted to change clubs. Now I am a Liverpool player. The criticism from Newcastle, that's part of football. There are things I cannot control. I'm just happy everything is sorted. It's been a new situation. You learn and grow mentally. I'm happy and proud to be a Liverpool player. That's what I wanted. Becoming the British transfer record, it's new, a different type of pressure, but that's part of my football. That's what I wanted. I'm happy, I'm focused and enjoying the challenge and doing the best for Liverpool, which is good. Look, it was a hectic summer to say for Alexander Isak, and he's playing catch up now. He did of course get 20 minutes last night off the bench for Sweden, which will stand him in good stead for us as we hope to get him back on the pitch for Liverpool, or on the pitch for the first time I should say, for Liverpool as soon as possible. Moving on now to Lionel Scaloni, the Argentinian national team manager, saying that Alexis McAllister is not yet 100% fit, but nonetheless is likely to start for Argentina tonight against Ecuador. So let us know your thoughts on this one. Maka still playing catch-up with fitness. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? We know that the Argentinian players and the Brazilian players will be the last ones back from international duty, which is why I mentioned on the stream last night that having moved Diaz and Darwin on, although there are obviously people who are unhappy about that, there are some good aspects to it. And one of those is that we have two less players coming back very late in these international breaks, whereas Ekitike and obviously Isak, European-based players, don't have as much travelling. So there is a bonus on this one. So Argentina have already qualified as well for the World Cup and secured first place in the qualifiers. So hopefully Scaloni doesn't overplay McAllister there or risk him in any way. So let's move on now to Team Talk, who've said Malik Fofana attracted interest from Chelsea and Liverpool during the summer transfer window. He's on the long-term list of Mohamed Salah replacements. I don't believe Fofana will be the Salah replacement. I still do think we're looking towards Michael Allister, but stick with me because I've got a bit on Ibrahim Konate coming up and a big claim made over in Spain. Now we're going to move back to Chris Bascombe. Following on from what we told you yesterday, Chris Bascombe of The Telegraph has said that Liverpool will not submit a fresh cash offer for Mark Guéhi in January and intend to sign him on a free transfer next summer. Having been given permission to meet the player, conduct a medical, they've agreed personal terms previously. It's understood, according to Chris Bascombe and others to be fair, that Mark Guéhi sees his long-term future at Anfield, and it makes sense if you think about it. He's always said he doesn't want to be uprooted in a World Cup year. We know that Liverpool have met him, spoke with him, so he'd already open to the move. It does make sense then that he does it at the end of the season, and Steve Parish and Crystal Palace lose £35 million. I'm going to say that again, Steve. £35 million for what? Backing a manager that may well leave at the end of the season when his contract's up anyway. Bit of a weird one for me, but, you know, he runs the football club there at Palace, so 35 million quid. Bye-bye. Still have to get that centre-back as well, so, yeah, really silliness there for my opinion. But let's move on to big claims coming out of Spain. And Marca have said, well, let me read it out to you. They said that Konate has already knocked back 3 Liverpool offers of an extension. Now, there was a report from Independent yesterday, take it with a pinch of salt, that Liverpool had presented fresh terms to Konate and his representative, who was looking over it. This piece said he's knocked back 3 contract extension offers, giving greater confidence to Madrid that they will be able to get the France international. They go on to say he would follow in the footsteps of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who, after engaging with the Spanish side, moved over there. They went on to say that even though Alphonso Davies was in a similar position, he stayed at Bayern Munich. So hopefully Ibu does agree Liverpool terms and stay there. But this piece here goes on to say, it's also said that the Anfield exit is considered a sure thing. So they believe in Spain that Konate's exit is a sure thing. But we've heard this before, right? They've been right and wrong about certain stuff, and the level of arrogance and entitlement when it comes to Madrid, the reporting around them and their fan base is truly astounding to me. But they say sure thing. Reports indicated that talks with Konate's representatives with a view to reach an agreement. Let's wait and see what happens with that one. I don't think it's as done a deal as they're saying it is, but like I said yesterday, if I am looking at it and trying to gauge where Konate in his head is at, it doesn't feel like it's with Liverpool. And will we see a situation where he goes in January? I really don't think so. For the main reason being, if Liverpool are not going to get Mark Guéhi in January and wait till the end of the season, if they sold Konate in January, that leaves us with Leone, Joe Gomez, Virgil, and a big problem in the potential knockout stages of the Champions League and a title race. I can't see a way Liverpool would weaken themselves for 15 or 20 million quid. It would be madness at the business end of a season. So I think if Konate doesn't agree, he probably will go on a free and then Mark Guéhi will come in. So that is where we're at for now, ladies and gents. But as I mentioned, I will be back here tonight at 8:45 for the late night agenda. Hope you can check out the podcast as well. Went out earlier on today. It was myself, Connor and Steve talking about Isak, our thoughts on the transfer window in general, and a little bit on PSR and what that means for the academy system moving forward. So I'll catch up with you guys later. Much love. Bye-bye.